How to win at everything, every time. A Stoic concept taught by a slave. 50 AD, an unnamed slave is born. There appears to be nothing special about this slave, but he grows up to study philosophy, and he develops a profound understanding of the world and what some would consider a blueprint to human excellence. Shortly after the death of Emperor Nero, he was freed and became a philosopher. He went on to teach philosophy and develop a large following. The methods he taught would change the life of his followers. The only problem is he never wrote any of this down, saying, don't talk about your philosophy, embody it. He earned the name Epictetus, which is Greek for gained or acquired, and great figures such as Hadrian would come from around the world to seek advice from Epictetus. But he was a simple man. He didn't want much, and he lived alone until he adopted a child that would have otherwise died. One of history's most renowned authors, Arrian of Nicomedia, made it his mission to keep the teachings of Epictetus alive. Arrian was a pupil of Epictetus, and he would go to his lectures and write down all of his teachings, and these teachings are now known as the Enchiridion and Discourses of Epictetus. To first understand the principle, we must understand the concept of the dichotomy of control. It is a Stoic principle that taught us that some things are in our control and some things are not. And as Epictetus said, some things are within our control and some things not. Within our control, our opinion, our motivation, our desire, and in a word, whatever is of our own doing. Not within our control, our reputation, our wealth, our health, our office, and in a word, whatever is not of our own doing. So the Stoics believed that we can break down the world into this control and not control, and with this we can focus on what we can control and give all our attention to this so that these outside forces do not disturb us and we can keep that unshakable spirit. The chief task in life is simply this: to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself, to the choices that are my own. So that's another quote from Epictetus, explaining the dichotomy of control. So what is this principle that can change your life? It's very simple. The idea is that when you go about anything in life, do not have goals to achieve that thing or get something from that task. The only goal is to keep your character, to keep these virtues and the strength of character. If you can keep these things, then you always win in every situation. An example is, you go to the gym, and many people have expectations of the gym. They want to get strong, they want to get fit, they want to get healthy. But we don't actually control these things. It's kind of a given that if you go to the gym and you work out, you will get healthier or you will get fitter. But if you go to the gym and break your legs, then this is not getting healthier or fitter. You're actually stepping back. And this is how the world works. It doesn't always go in our favor, even if you work hard, even if you follow the rules. The world can sometimes be a harsh place. Like Rocky says, the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place. And I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and leave you there permanently if you let it. Now, I'm not saying it's that morbid, but the idea is that the world just happens as it does, so we can't expect it to happen a different way. But then another thing is that we go to the gym expecting to do this workout, but then someone's being rude to us in the gym, the machines are taken, things don't go our way, so we can't expect these things to happen. So what do? Well, you keep your strength of character, you keep your discipline, you keep your patience, you live life in accordance to the Stoic principles. Because even if you have a bad workout, you've kept your discipline, you tried to do the workout, you keep your character, you don't get angry, you don't get mad, you don't flip out like a child despite bad things happening, because this is you, this is the thing that you can control, the way you react to the external events. So if you go to the gym with the expectation of just keeping your discipline and keeping your character and not being disturbed by outside events, and you have a good workout, then you've kept your character, you've strengthened your character, and you had a good workout. That's a bonus. But if you go to the gym and you keep your character, you keep your discipline, you keep your patience, despite all these rude people, despite you having a bad session, you didn't hit any PRs, it was a bad session, you've still won from that situation. And in a way, a bad session or an injury or a rude person happening to you is actually a benefit to you. Because if your goal is to keep your strength of character and something bad happens to you, this is life giving you a challenge. And without challenges, we'll never grow. When you are going about any action, remind yourself what nature the action is. If you're going to bath, picture yourself the things that usually happen in the bath. Some people splash the water, some push, some use abusive language, and others steal. Thus, you will more safely go about this action if you say to yourself, I will now go to bath and keep my own mind in a state conformable to nature. And in the same manner with regard to every other action, for thus, if any hindrance arises in bathing, you will have it ready to say, it was not only to bath that I desired, but to keep my mind in a state conformable to nature, and I will not keep it if I am bothered at things that happen. So imagine you are starting a diet and you say to yourself, I want to become healthier and fitter. Most times when we go on a diet, these things do happen, but sometimes there are setbacks, sometimes it doesn't go our way. And if your goal is to get healthier and it doesn't happen, then you get upset and you might say, what's the point in this diet, and give up on your diet. But if your only goal is to do it out of discipline, out of living in accordance with nature, all these things, if you do the diet because of that and you don't lose weight, you don't get healthier, then the idea is, if you don't give up on your thing because you want to develop your strength of character, you want to develop your discipline, then you still control this. Even on bad days, this is another test from life saying, do you really want this thing? Do you really want to develop yourself? So if a bad thing happens, it's a test from life to build your character even more. And if a good thing happens, then well done, that's a bonus. Another example is you're going to work on your daily commute and you're stuck in traffic, getting irritated, getting annoyed at the traffic. What did you expect? You get stuck in traffic every morning. Why does this irritate you? Why does this disturb you? Why does this anger you and allow you to destroy your own character and become a weaker, lesser version of yourself? If you expect that you will be stuck in traffic, you will be met with people that are rude, people that cut in front of you, you expect these things, then you can stick to what you control, your patience, your strength of character. And you can just say to yourself, well, I'm stuck in traffic, let's make the best use of this moment, learn patience. And that is another gift from life saying, here, you want to learn more patience? Patience is a virtue. Here, I'll teach you some more patience. So you've won. Being stuck in traffic, you've won. So that is the basic idea of the principle, but I'll expand further to give you a better understanding and help you incorporate it into your life. So these are 7 simpler and more basic principles taught by the Stoics that will help you become a better character and only benefit you and help you understand that main principle that I taught from Epictetus. So the first one is the idea of the Stoic flame. The idea of the Stoic flame is that we should be like the flame, in the fact that if you throw wood, you throw paper, you throw all these things onto the fire, these obstacles, then the fire actually uses them as fuel and grows. It benefits from this. So in life will throw you challenges and obstacles and difficult situations, and like the flame, you burn them up, you use them as fuel. So when life gives you a challenge, you burn it up and develop your strength of character. Life gives you irritating people, you burn it up and become patient. Life gives you sadness, it gives you pain, you burn it up and you develop this zest for life, this presence, this strength of character, despite all these bad things happening, all these challenges, you, like the flame, burn it up and use it as fuel. So the second principle taught by Tony Robbins actually was swap your expectations for appreciations. In life, we expect things to go a certain way. We expect things, we desire things, we want things. We have this idea of the way the world works, and when it doesn't go our way, it upsets us. And even if it goes our way, we expect more. So how do we combat this? We swap those expectations for appreciations, gratitude. We're thankful for the things we get. We no longer expect things to go a certain way. We're just thankful for the way the world works. Like the Stoics say, amor fati, love your fate. It happens as it does, and you can just love it. So the third principle that adheres to this is Memento Mori, as the Stoics say, and I'm sure you already know by now. Memento Mori is Latin for remember death, or remember you are mortal. The idea is when you remember death, you have a gratitude and appreciation for the life and the time that you have right now, because this time is fleeting and life only exists in the present moment. I like to use a Memento Mori calendar like the one behind me to help remind me that my time is limited and it's running out. This helps me have a zest for life like nothing else, and the concept of Memento Mori will help you be present. And yes, it does seem quite morbid, but the idea is not to ruminate on this idea. It is to just let it be known to your conscious mind that you can't keep wasting time. You can't keep being ungrateful for the things you have and living in the past or living in the future, because life exists right here in this present moment. So don't waste it. And that will speak to you the next time you're scrolling endlessly on TikTok or Instagram, which will probably be straight after this video. So don't do it. Be present in this moment. Just for once, be present and remember, your time is limited. Memento Mori. So number 4, no event is good or bad, which you might argue, but I'll explain to you the story of the Chinese farmer who had his horse. His horse ran away, and he needed this horse to plough his land. So now he was without horse. He can't get the horse to do the job. He has to do it himself. So all the villagers come around and say, "Oh, how awful! Your horse is gone. How terrible!" And the farmer says, "Well, we don't know if this is for the better." And then the horse returns with a wild mare, and this mare is able to help him on the land. So now he's got 2 horses. And all the villagers come around and go, "Wow, how lucky are you?" And he goes, "Well, we don't know if this is for the worse." And then the farmer's son likes to ride the wild mare, and he falls off, breaks his legs. And all the villagers come around and go, "Oh no, how awful, your son, he's broke his legs." And he goes, "Well, we don't know if this is for the better." And the villagers are quite confused. And then war breaks out, and all the young men within the village are conscripted to go out and fight. And unfortunately, many of the men don't return. And the farmer's son, because he broke his legs, couldn't go out to fight, and he lives. And the farmer understood that we don't know whether an event truly is for good or bad. We are not really sure. And I'm sure that's happened in your life when something bad's happened, and a year later you go, "Wow, what a blessing." So we don't know if this is good or bad. So number 5 is perfect chaos. The world is perfect chaos, actually. And it's very chaotic, all this craziness going on around us. Yet if we say to ourselves, "This is perfect, I will make the best use of this situation," then it becomes perfect to you. You find the best of the situation, because what else is there to do? It's happened the way it's happened, and all you can do is make the best of it. So you say, "This is perfect. This is exactly what I needed. This is exactly what I need in my life for X, Y, or Z." And that is how Stoicism started, through perfect chaos. Zeno was on a ship. He was a merchant, and his ship was in a storm, and he was shipwrecked. He lost everything. He washed up ashore, and he went to a bookstore, and he read Xenophon's memorabilia of Socrates and said to the bookstore owner, "Where can I meet men like Socrates?" And he pointed out to Crates and said, "That is a man like Socrates." And he learned from Crates and then went on to develop Stoicism. So without that chaos of the storm, Zeno would have just been a merchant probably his whole life, and we would never have Stoicism. So within chaos there is perfection, because there's no other alternative. Either get dragged by fate or led by fate. So I was at a Shaolin temple recently talking to Master Shu Heng Yi, and he said, if you think of the person closest to you, they oftentimes surprise you with their behavior. And then you think of people kind of close to you, they'll surprise you even more. So you go out into the world, random strangers, of course they're going to surprise you. It's chaotic, but you make perfect of what you have and what has been given to you by life. Number 6 is the obstacle is the way. This was taught by Ryan Holiday, who actually wrote a book about this. I recommend the book. And he said, the obstacle in the path becomes the path. Never forget, within every obstacle is an opportunity to improve our condition. So this is similar to the Stoic flame. The idea, Ryan Holiday is saying that every obstacle is an opportunity, and we can't see obstacles as a villain and we are the victim. An obstacle is a collaboration between the universe and us. The universe is giving us exactly what we need in order to grow, and people will say, that is God giving you what you need. You pray for strength, for God gave you challenges so that you can develop strength. If you pray for strength and God doesn't give you challenges, then he's not listening. And number 7, and the final principle to help you become unshakable and win in every single situation, is to have aim. Marcus Aurelius taught in his Meditations that without aim, one would wander around aimlessly. So aim is different to expectations. Aim is a direction to go. And his aim was to live in accordance with nature, to follow virtues, to be a good man, to be a good leader. This is his aim, so things follow in that path. If he's scrolling on TikTok like he would have been, if he's scrolling on it watching pointless videos, that's not the aim of being a great man. That's not the aim of being a great leader. This doesn't follow the life in accordance with nature that Marcus Aurelius believed and Marcus Aurelius taught. So he would have got off Instagram straight away. He would have got off TikTok. So he said actually in the Meditations, concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you, with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, with justice, and on freeing yourself from all other distractions. Yes, you can. If you do everything as if it were the last thing you were doing in life, and stop being aimless, stop letting your emotions override what your mind tells you, stop being hypocritical, self-centered, irritable, you see how few things you have to do to live a satisfying and reverent life. If you can manage this, that's all even the gods can ask from you. So Marcus Aurelius says to live each day as if it were your last, without frenzy, apathy, pretense. He says that in the Meditations. People often say you can't live every day as if it were your last, because then you would be partying, parachuting, spending loads of money, doing loads of crazy things. At least most people would. I wouldn't do that. I'd just sit and listen to some music, enjoy the sunset. But the idea is that in this scenario, the last thing you ought to ever do is to sit on this bus. It's the last thing you've been given. God says, this is it, this is all you get. And you sit on that bus and you enjoy it, you be present, because what else would you do? You've got to think, this is my last moment here on earth. I'll smile at the people, I'll enjoy the sun coming through the windows, I'll enjoy all the beautiful views, the birds, the bees, the squirrels, the trees. I'll enjoy all these things and I'll live this moment to the fullest. And if you're given a task, your task is gardening, you do it as if it was the last you were to ever do. You do it to the best of your ability. And only in that moment, you're not shoveling whilst thinking of a problem that happened 10 years ago, or a problem that might happen in the future. You're just there shoveling. It's really simple. Shovel, shovel. You're focusing on that. You're not focusing on all these imaginary problems. You're just there in the moment, living that moment to the fullest. You can win in every situation, every time, because every outcome is good for you. You're the type of person that sees a challenge and you say, good, this is going to build me as a character. You see a difficulty and you say, good, this is going to develop my strength of character. You see an annoying person and you say, good, this will build my patience, or even compassion. You can teach this person how to be a better person. You can help them, you can guide them. The thing is, with every challenge comes an opportunity for growth. If you want to support what I'm doing, then please consider becoming a YouTube member. It comes with perks like videos on certain topics just for you, longer in-depth videos, behind the scenes like pictures and ideas that I have, and the general YouTube perks. Consider subscribing or heading over to my Instagram at TheEverydayStoic or at MulliganBrothers. I try to share on there Stoic memes, Stoic quotes, Stoic Q&As, anything to do with Stoicism really, and then on my own page, just random stuff to do with work and lifestyle. And if you want to support what I'm doing, consider buying the Memento Mori poster. It comes with the frames, the wire, everything to hang it. And the general idea of the poster is every week you fill in one of the boxes and you're just ticking down the weeks of your life. I know it sounds morbid, but it has helped me so much in life. And I know so many people that it's helped. It just adds such gratitude, presence, and a zest for life. It's very good. So I hope that it can help you. Thank you for your support, and thank you for your comments and your likes and your views. And thank you for trying to incorporate Stoicism into your life, because I think it can help you be a better person. And in turn, as the Stoics believed, we are part of this cosmic community where everyone's nature and our nature is tied together. So by you being a better person, it helps someone else to be a better person. And by them being a better person, it helps you and it helps everyone. And it just spreads like a fire, a Stoic fire that can help everyone. So thank you for watching.